Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another stream here on the Pokerstaples channel. Thanks so much for joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Gotta make sure the Facebook is live. It is indeed. Welcome one and all. Excited to play some poker today. Got a bunch of lobbies up on the main tournaments on PartyPoker today. So as you all probably saw, or some of you guys saw, a great day for sports. Shoffley getting it done in the Open Championship in golf, which was really cool to see. Seems to be a deserving winner. And great F1 this morning. Double whammy of awesome. So yeah, excited to just play some cards. Let's get it done and get registering. First tournament is going to be the 215 Big Sunday. I'm going to have to get everything framed up, so just give me a few minutes here to get organized. But I'll get this table up and running, so that, you know, you have something to look at while I organize my life. Something like that. That looks pretty good to me. There we go. Maybe a tad down. Something like that. All right. So we're going to start off with 6 tables. We have the Super 215, Super 320, the 215 Big Sunday, which you guys are watching right now. And then across the top, excuse me, we have 3 $55 buy-ins. One is the Super 55, one is the Masters, and then one is the Grand Prix main event, 150,000 guarantee. 2-day tournament, a bunch of day ones and day two coming up pretty soon, I think, actually. So definitely get in there if you haven't had a chance. All right, let's get the buy-ins correct here. The live hand viewer. Okay. Sweet. So let's just slot everything in and get down to business. Get going. This is the Super 320. There we are. Put it in green felt. Abinez Solis, what's up? Hello, hello, my friend. First in the channel today. Good to see you. Welcome on any of the 3 streams. Do you want to raise ace-8 here? We cover quite a few opponents, so I think we can click it open, to be honest. Do you think we can click that open? I probably wouldn't if I didn't cover these 2. I guess these 3, technically. It's just right on the edge in my mind. And we get squeezed and we have to fold. Okay. Next up, we have the Super 215 here, kicking off on this table. We got the 3 high buy-ins. The ace-9 we raise. We go 3 ways to the flop. King 8-3 with a big stack behind as well. We're going to check. See, Thrilla, what's up, man? We are just getting started. Never give up, never surrender. That's it, brother. Just getting going. First couple hands of the day. Okay, so we've got this 55. We got to move the lobby up, though, because it is too low. Can't see the title. There we go. There we go. All right, nice. That's in action. And just fold to the river. I think even when they bet 1/4, which gives us a good price, but probably not enough bluffs to call off. All right, so here is the 55 Masters, and then last we had the 55 main event. Oh no, this is blue as well, actually. Non-knockout, okay. Beautiful stuff. 6 tables on the go. Let's make it count. Never give up, never surrender is the one. Third today. What's up, Pick a Big Butt? Third in the house, it's true. Nothing on YouTube or Facebook yet either, so you are a true third. Welcome to the stream. And I hope you all had a good weekend. What's up, Steve Bennett on Facebook and Alexi Taluga. Good day, mate. What's up? Hello, Steve. Thanks for tuning in. I had a really fun weekend. Got to take 3 days with Rebecca and do something fun before the Sunday grind. So we went to a town about an hour out of town in Montreal. Rented an Airbnb. And there was a classical music concert. So I got to go to 2 concerts. One on Friday and one on Saturday. And then we came back last night before the grind today. Also found a really cool beach. What do we do with Queen 9 suited here? Oh, I'm going to fold that. So I got to sit with my feet in the water on this river, sort of on a beach. It was really nice, man. Such a nice weekend. Awesome Sunday morning. I was hoping one of my favorite streamers was on. Good luck, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Let's get it done. King Jack under the gun. We're going to raise this up in the big Sunday. Nice for Shoffley to get a victory out there in the Open Championship. Got to watch 2 or 3 holes before I clicked live. Thanks for the good luck, Don Killer. How are you, man? Excuse me. So, flop. Queen, Jack, 8. 2 hearts. Check. Yeah. We want to control the size of the pot here. We don't want to make it too big, right? We have second pair. We're in a multi-way pot. Want to keep it small at this point. We'd want to bet with really big hands like Queen Jack or Queen 8 suited or Jack 8 suited or 9-10 suited. Or, probably bet small with aces, bet small with kings, bet with queens, jacks, 8s. And then bet with our heart draws, right? Our heart draws are King 10 suited. Bluffs would be good. Maybe our backdoor clubs. That's what our betting range is going to look like. So our checks are going to be checking a lot of King Queen and Queen 10 and Queen 9 and King Jack and Jack 10 and Jack 9 and 8-9 suited. Like these sort of hands are going to want to check. So you bet a 74,000 on the turn. And we've got a bit of a tough spot here, actually. We have one player fold. I think we can peel one with this hand, but we're right on the edge, I'd say. River is great. Check, check. I'm not getting value from a misdraw, so we might as well check back the river. But that queen on the river doesn't change the strength of our hand, right? If they had a queen, we're already behind. Just makes it less likely they had a queen and more likely that they had a draw. So it's a good river to see. Baloo 31 dropping the 52-month Arisa. What's up, brother? Set me free. You're free, brother. You are totally free. Live your dreams, Baloo. Always a pleasure to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the sub hug. It's the love of the chat. First sub of the day. Thanks, man. King 9, dogs, limps. We're going to check. It's not strong enough to raise for value. Don't need to raise it as a bluff. Just check. And it's probably the best hand on the flop. Not always, but probably. They check the turn. We check. The fact they haven't bluffed yet is a little concerning, but I think we should check down to the King 9. And then bluff hands like 8-9 at some point, right? Like, bluff that hand. But not King High. What's up, Roy Williams on Facebook? Hey, Jamie, good luck, buddy. Thanks, man. Evening from Birmingham, UK. What's up, Fierce11? Is that the James from Facebook? We got a couple viewers from Birmingham for sure. King 6, limp here. Again, I don't think we want to bluff this hand. With the king high is not often a bluff, right? Like, it's a decent hand when it folds to the small blind and it's just heads up. More likely to bluff queen highs. You could bluff a few king highs, right? But king deuce, king 3 are better options. Might turn my hand into a bluff here on this turn. Great weekend. Just finished watching the Open. Yeah, man. Kevin Smith on Facebook. Cheers, man. Yeah, I was just watching the last couple holes as well. Such a fun tournament. I love links golf. Love it. PGD 6-month gift subscription courtesy of BCAR has entered month 4. There it is. There it is. The month 4. Courtesy of BCAR, you degenerates. Should we bluff the river? I think so. Especially when we bluff the turn. Good luck. Hope you win this. Thanks, man. Me too. I don't know what I'm going to win today, but ooh, the double check with a 9 is sick. That's a sick double check. Raise up 6s. What do we want to do here? I think call the 3-bet, especially covering for a bounty. And I'm sure glad I did, because look at this set. GG Jaime Staples, what's up? Andre Dos Santos, good to see you. Good luck, hope you win it. Thank you, Paulo. Will we get a call here? I should bet a little bigger on the turn so that I don't have to overbet here, but a similar thing, to be honest. What's up, Selek Bugan? Thanks, man, for the kind words. Love watching all your videos. I learn so much. If I play online, I lose 80% of the time with better hand, and that's why I stopped playing online poker. And casinos have small success. And please don't stop with your videos. Greetings from Germany. Thanks, man. Yeah, no, I'll keep going for sure. 100%. You'll keep seeing me. It can definitely feel like that, you know? When you play online poker for the first time, you're just dealt so much negative feedback in such a short period of time. It's really difficult to deal with. So I remember the feeling. And yeah, all the best, man. Glad I can be helpful. Gonna check back with our 7. Queen on the turn is whatever. Check again. Eating from Ben and Florentine while watching you play. What's up? Jules Alexander, how are you? Welcome, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. Check on the flop, check on the turn, and then a bet on the river here. Most likely hand is going to be a 10 or a 9. This really hits the small blind range as well. I'm going to fold. I'm not going to put in any money there. It's a little sad, but it's all right. I'm going to fold 2s. Probably not profitable to flat, and 3 betting seems like not a great idea. I have country roads in my head, it seems like. Seems like country roads is the one for me today. Couldn't tell you why, but it's true. Calling the flop, turns a 9, okay. Not the best turn in the world, but we might still have the best hand. We're hoping for a check, and that's exactly what we get. I'm going to go for, it's a bit of a block bet on the river here. Just expecting a 3, 4, or 5 to pay us off. And they folded. Okay, that's fine. Folded the squeeze here. 6, 7 suited. We 3-bet Keller Assel. Hey, Chloro, dropping the 23-month. Risa gets 11 in the chat for your boy Chloro. What's up, man? How are you? Good to see you here, man. 8's win against Queen Jack, even on this flop, which is wild. Let's go. We got 4-bet in the 320, by the way. I fold. 6, 7 suited. And our Queen Jack wins. Nice. Crazy F1 today. Chloro. It was totally crazy. Really tough spot for Lando to be in. Tough spot for the team to put him in. Oscar deserves a win at some point. Lando maybe deserved that win. I don't know. It's pretty intense. Let's see. I don't know. What did you think about it, Clara? Coffee Time USA. What's up, my friend? Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a great Sunday grind. Welcome, welcome. $1.1 million here. We've lost a few chips in both of these supers, which is not great because it means our opponents will play back aggressively against us. What's up, Jeremy Bird on YouTube? Much love, Mr. Staples. Thanks, man. Welcome. It's good to be here. Good to be on the grind with you all today. Very much excited to just kind of focus in, play some cards. Limp, limp, limp. Check. I'm gonna get some caffeine on this break, bro. Some caffeine. I don't think you can break caffeine into 2 syllables. It doesn't work. Caffeine. It is 2 syllables, but separating it is weird. It's just weird. Phantom 2629 goes for the raise. Oh. Best Sunday evening, weekend ending. Yeah, great sports day today. Really, really good. Really good sports day. What do we have next week? We have Spa next week. Man, we had a competition once for someone from PartyPoker to go to Spa. That was so cool. I got a fun week ahead as well. Quali and F1 race on the 27th and the 28th. Yeah. Get some poker in for sure. I have fireworks on Saturday. There's a cool film festival going on called Fantasia Film Festival in Montreal. It just started on Friday. So I'm going to check out some movies, I think, this week. I haven't watched a ton of movies this year. I don't watch movies generally very much, but I'm looking forward to, I don't know, just like partaking in the art form a bit more over the next 2 weeks or so. Kind of fun. Trying to see how many movies I've watched this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've watched 13 movies this year. The last one was April 29th. And I don't really remember it. Oh, yes, I do. Bugsy. Watching you from Fort McPherson, Canada, Northwest Territories. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. I've never been up there. Got to do it at some point, man. Got to get it done. Got to check it out. Do you want to see betting as Matthew Band's? No, I don't. Especially with this hand. Do you want to bluff? Sometimes, but probably not here. Do you play live games or only online? I do play live games. Yeah, live tournaments sometimes recently. Going to play some at the end of the month. There's a tournament series here in Montreal at the end of the month, so I'm going to play probably 4 or 5 events, I think, for that. Looking forward to it. And last year I did like a live cash game challenge stream, which went on for about a month and a half. It was really fun. I've kind of shelved the project for now in that it took a lot of time and I was like down 5K in the games after playing maybe like 20 sessions or so. So not a big deal, like 7 buy-ins or something. But yeah, it was taking a lot of time and I didn't know how I was going to make any money doing it, really. I mean, I think I could make some money in the 2-5 game for sure, and like the stream would make some money with subscribers or whatever, but I don't know, man. Like I've been playing poker full-time for 14 years now, I think. So I've kind of put in my time. I don't need to grind out the 2-5 games anymore. I'm not above it, but it's just like I don't need to financially, you know? So why would I kind of put myself in that spot? So yeah, I don't know. That's the live poker story, but I have started playing live poker tournaments again occasionally when they come into town, just because think it's good, right? Like I enjoy meeting people at playgrounds and seeing people in real life from our community here. So it's a good way to check in with people, and I think live poker likely will be a bigger and bigger part of my life later on into my life. I would guess. So it's nice to sort of get some reps in, you know? Also, like in a lot of the poker community, especially the tournament poker community, like hand and mob is a big deal. I have very few scores on hand and mob, you know? I have some deep runs in 5Ks or whatever, but like I haven't put in a lot of volume at live tournaments to get a win. So, you know, it's just good to flick a few so that, you know, over the course of the next 5 or 10 years, it'll make an impact. The date is wrong. Thank you for that. It's the 21st. There we are, the 21st. Appreciate it. So, yeah. Oh, I'm actually playing a tournament next week randomly as well. Because a friend of the stream is coming into town and playing a 200, so I'm going to play as well. So I'll be playing a tournament at Playground next Thursday. Just soaking up the sun at Jari Park, watching the dogs playing on the way to the grind. Beautiful, brother. Oh, I wish I was soaking up the sun at Park Jari right now. I wish I could just hop in when I get to the final table, you know? Such a nice park. I've only been twice just because it's so far from me in the Southwest, but it's a nice vibe over there, man. Enjoy it. I did have something on my calendar today, the Ultimate Frisbee team. There's a professional Ultimate Frisbee team in Montreal. And they were playing today, which is pretty near Park Jari, I think. I didn't get to go to any games because, you know, play on Sunday. I play poker on Sunday. Open the aces, get 3-bet to 180. You can definitely 4-bet all in. I'm going to slow play with aces. If you're ever going to slow play with a hand here, it's aces, right? You're not going to do it with kings ever. You're not going to do it with queens ever. It doesn't make any sense. I think given the stacks the way they are, I like the slow play opportunity in this spot. We have a lot of thoughts on the F1 as well. What's up, Fastlane Rachel, by the way? How are you? Just give me 1 second to play out these hands. It's a pretty big bet. I'm just going to go all in. I could also call, and then it goes check, check, turn, but I think we want to fast play against the big bet size. And we take it down 2 million chips in the big Sunday. Beautiful stuff. Let's go. Big chip up, fam. Okay. Glad Piastri got his W. Landa threw it away in the first corner again. Think he needs to get some practice on the Sims. Max annoyed me with his radio messages. Yeah, I mean, what's new with Max and his radio messages, man? He's definitely very competitive, but like, he is entitled, like every time he's making his case, you know, it's not objective. And I get it being in the heat of the battle, but, you know, I find them annoying too. Perez was overlooked for driver of the day. P16 to P7 was drama with Aston Martin 2. Stroll not following team orders. So much to digest. I didn't know that about Stroll. Max was acting like a petulant child today, to be fair. Did he receive a penalty for the Hamilton incident? I don't know. It didn't seem like he would have to give up the space against Hamilton, but it wasn't like the most shocking Max move to me. It was just like, oh, okay, he locked up, and that was dumb, but, you know. Yeah. Such a fun race, though. Beautiful drive if you ever do decide to come up this way to the Northwest Territories. Yeah, I would love to, man. My fiance Rebecca is pretty allergic to mosquitoes. So when is the season to go to the Northwest Territories where it'll be the least of a problem? That's something in my mind about taking a road trip up there. why the low sizing on the C bets would seem like you don't have anything like testing the waters bet. It really, so C betting depends on a bunch of different factors. It depends on position. It depends on our range and their range, right? It depends on board texture. So it's really common to continuation bet quite small because, one, on the flop, you have a bunch of stuff that hasn't hit and then some stuff that hasn't hit. So that's one of the considerations. Twos have missed here. We're going to 3-bet with tens. But also, even when you have your good hands, right, you have later in the hand to get lots of money and value bets on the flop, right? So you might bet that 1/3 or 1/4 of the pot on the flop, which is consistent with you having a bunch of stuff that's not so great, stuff that's okay and decent, and then stuff that is really good. On the turn, a common strategy is going to be to polarize, right, where you're going to bet a much bigger sizing on the turn. And you're going to do that with some bluffs, right? But then also with values of like, okay, when I have the sets, boom, we're going 80% of the turn, right? And getting a big amount of value from those hands. And then same thing on the river, right? So how it typically is going to shake out mathematically when you're devising a strategy is going to be, you know, around 2/3 bluff on the flop, around 50% bluffs on the flop turn, and then about 30% bluffs on the river. That's an approximation. It changes depending on stack depths and board texture and stuff like that. But honestly, flop strategy is one of the most complicated parts of the game. It's very, because there's a bunch of different factors that interact with each other that determine like an optimal mathematical strategy. There's a bunch of rule of thumbs that you can use. But at the end of the day, a small continuation bet, especially in tournaments where stack preservation is important, you're getting a good price on taking this action. When you have really good hands, you can get a lot of money later on in the hand. Balance that with your bluffs, right? And then when you have a weaker hand, you're getting them to fold a bunch of things for cheap in the beginning. That's like a bad summary, but a summary nonetheless. We're going to bet here with top set. We're 4 ways, so we're going to bet a quarter of the pot. They're going to continue with any 10, continue with any sort of straight draw and stuff. They check on the turn. Check, check here. Too difficult to get 3 streets of value. Yeah. We need them to bluff their missed straight draws or pick up something. They check on the river. They probably have a missed straight draw or they have a 10 and they're going to check call pretty much any size, I think. So just bet big here. Both drivers were a bit wrong as it seems. Max Lewis. Lewis turned in harder than he could. Max went too deep into the corner. Seems fair. Fastlane Rachel says 75-25 max on that one, looking from an outside perspective. Fair. Love your stuff. Thanks. You don't get burned out online? I sure do. Yeah, for sure. I mean, burnout is definitely a thing. Especially playing for 13 years. Like, you're going to go through periods where you just love everything in the game of poker and all you want to do is play it, and then periods where you're a little burnt. How it typically works for me in the year, this is awkward, but folding. It's very seasonal for me with poker. I am generally pretty productive when it comes to like mid-September until about February is when I have my best months. Not so great from February until about April. Mid-April until June, I'm pretty in there. June, July, August, not so tuned in. That's kind of like It really follows the old school schedule almost, where it's like when it historically was cold in Canada and I was in school is when I'm focused, and when it was time for summer and vibes, I'm not as focused. That's how I feel about it, anyways. Would you play on WPT? Yeah, I've played there some. I have an account. I think they're doing some good things for sure. I'm a Party Poker Pro, obviously, so I want you guys to play with me on Party, but there's lots of other sites that are, doing good things in the industry, and I wish them the best of luck. Please check Shibanu because a bet is tough. They check with King 10. Okay. Going for a little bluff here on the turn. After this hand, we're going to play you a brand new YouTube video. Just came out this week. I'm going to grab a drink and I'll be back in just 4 minutes, okay? But let's finish this hand first. Back in a few minutes. Stay with me. Ship it. Let's go, Dottie. Come on. Let's go. 75 bucks and a bunch of chips. Basically, three-way tie for the lead here. Open 6-5 suited. 3-bet from Lord Vaquero to 3,300. So I don't think we're folding. The question is, like, how much do I want to 4-bet here? Probably not a lot, I would say. I mean, in theory, some, for sure. But I'm just going to call this time. Flop is 3-7-9. A kind of disguised good flop, right? We have a double gutter. We have 8 outs to make a very strong hand here on a flop that our opponent is not going to hit very often. We don't have any hearts, for what it's worth, but... And it goes check, check on the flop, 10 on the turn. We have a bluff here, for sure. We have 6 high. We have a board that we can represent with some sets. And some like suited connectors that made 2 pair and stuff like that. It's worth remembering this is a raise under the gun, a 3-bet under the gun, 1, or like, middle position hijack. I think I want a bluff here. Their line doesn't make any sense unless they have like a set of 9s here or something, or a set of 10s. When it goes check, check, and then bet raise, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think overpairs want to check on this flop too much when they 3-bet pre, so I'm just going to go all in. A set of 7s. Okay. We win with a straight. I don't know. Like, I think it's a weird line. Is there a justification for it? Maybe. Just, like, if you're checking back 7s here, you're really trying to maximize king, queen, king, jack, king 10 suited, queen, jack suited, queen 10 suited, jack 10 suited, getting bluffs from those on turns and rivers. Problem is, like, you're getting floats from everything that's hearts. Most ace highs, like any pair, right? You're getting all the money from top pair. So I don't know. It's definitely not going to be the standard strategy to check back mid pair there. You could mix it in that it did get me to bet 3-bet with like a double gutter. But definitely didn't expect to see 7s there very often. So we're 110 blinds deep here. We cover for a bounty. Do we want to get this in pre against a big blind 3-bet? I think so. And I think in this 3-bet pot, we're mostly going to call here. We probably don't have enough to value raise in that their 3-betting range is going to have aces, it's going to have queens, it's going to have kings. Very unlikely, obviously, with ace-king. It's only one combo of kings. There's not going to be enough like king-jack where we can like raise for value and then call off, right? So I think it's just call, and then call on the river for sure on the ace, and then just lose to queens because like people don't bluff. But yeah, we're calling. We don't know if people don't bluff, right? Against some people, we could just fold the river because they have queens every time. But you can't do that against the population, so we just call. And lose to our 5 combos of sets, And there you go. Sometimes it's 7-6. It be what it be. It do what it do. We get the bounty. Raise 3-bet. We 4-bet all in. $50 bounty in the Super 215. Come on. Against ace king. We love being in flips when we cover for a bounty. It's great. It's such a great deal. Let's go. Beautiful stuff. Okay. King, queen. Divingminator. Whatever that means. We squeeze as an option here with this 29 blind stack. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for it. Reason being here as well is we're so rarely dominated. Right? They're not going to flat ace king or ace queen. They might have ace jack, they might have ace 10, they might decide to go all in and we have 40% equity. But there's a bounty on the line here as well. And most of the time they're just going to have like middling pairs or whatever ace high suiteds, right? A couple suited connectors. We're going to continue our aggression. It's a pot size bet. Hope they didn't hit / hope they fold ace highs. But we get it in good against 10 high, which is great. And we win, which is even better. Hell yeah. Value bets. Let's go. Ace king is beautiful, especially with a bounty in play. Our opponent is 18 blinds deep. We 3-bet. I hope to see some action here. We don't fold. This is pretty strong, but we don't fold ace king in this spot when they're all in for a bounty with 17 blinds. We need 4% less equity than normal against them. That's also true of this hand as well. So get it in. Aces are going to get bong lim, and we're going to lose quite a bit of chips there. But we're still okay. Ace queen. And we're obviously going to 3-bet here. Try and get this bounty. What's up? Back in real time, fam. Thanks for hanging out. Let's continue on our 6 tables. Double stack. 2/3 stack, 1/3 stack. I don't know if you start with 50K or 100K here, but fine. 1.5 stacks, I think. And starting stack. Okay. This would be the best stack right now. The 215 Big Sunday. Got some caffeine. Gonna have lunch here in a second. And what's up? One and all. Josh Rutan dropping the 4-year resub. Gets 11 in the chat. What's up, Josh? Thanks so much, man, for the 4 years. Keep up the grind. On it, brother. Thank you very much for the resub. Welcome back to the team. Thank you. Thank you. Azirdines. I don't know why I always see like airlines in your name, but because it starts with an A and ends with NES. Azirdines. You don't play WSB in Vegas at all? I didn't this year. Have in the past. Not really a focus of mine at the moment. John Hutzler. Thanks for the kind words, man. On Facebook. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Small bet here on the turn, I think is good. It's a thin value bet if we don't improve, but then if we improve to more, then it's great. We have the same hand, okay? And they survive. No bounty or anything, just, you know. I need quite a lot of bluffs here on the turn, and it's hard to have them, honestly. King Jack straight takes it down against the set. It was too bad. This bet is a little surprising, I'd say. Folds. What 9-10 suited? We call. We call the 9-10 suited. Check on the flop. 3 to a straight flush on the Queen 7-7. think a small check raise might work here. But let's see. Goes check, check. I think all things are in play there, but we'll fold, man. Definitely ready for this one. To go with it on 18 blinds. And likely with ace queen as well in this late position. I'm going to play aggressively, but let's see how it develops. We are flipping. We've lost the flip. Ayah. Can re-enter there. We will. I'm going to have to fold now. I was excited, but unfortunately it goes raise 3-bet before me. Which makes my hand, you know, the line, but not great. Queens win a pot here, which is cool. Let me add my buy-ins. 55 plus 55. 215, 320, 215, and a second 320. Okay. We're back in. We got Matty Ice on our left, a little shorter than us. A lot of stacks shorter than us, actually. Re-entering 5 on our table, which is pretty good. So let's see how it goes. Easy, brother. Good luck from Derby, England. What's up? Matt Blackjaw. Welcome, man. Lando should have given it in the F1, says Brad. Fair. Yeah, so like I can definitely see it both ways. My understanding of the situation, I did watch the race, but like the pit strategy allowed Lando to take first place. If they had deployed a different pit strategy, Piastri would have retained first place, and then it would have been a race to the finish between the two of them. However, he obviously didn't have an opportunity to race from second place for first because of their strategy. So it's unfair that, first of all, he didn't have that chance. But then also it's like Piastri followed instructions and was taken. His opportunity to win the race was also sort of taken away by the strategy decisions of the team. So, but yeah, there's also an argument against Lando throwing as much of a fit as he did in sort of like putting on an exhibit, right? To where Piastri overtook with 2 laps left, and sort of how vocal he was on the radio. He really took a lot out of the win for Piastri. His first win in F1, right? Almost like comes with an asterisk to a lot of fans. So there's an argument for Lando, you know, ceding the place earlier and then racing from there. I don't know. Very interesting race, though, for sure. What's up, Bodie Lummox? Welcome. Thank you for the good luck. How come the thumbnail on your YouTube says England or Spain? Euros finished ages ago. Oh, we just didn't update the thumbnail for today. Sorry about that, Taser. That's a reminder for Rebecca, because she manages the thumbnails for Sunday. However, she's right now making me lunch, so she's a little busy. And thank you, Rebecca, for making lunch. Appreciate you. $50 tourneys. We have three $50 tourneys, and then a $215, a $320, and a $215. So we have 6 tournaments on the go right now. You can always see the buy-ins below my face. If there's question marks, it means it's lower than $50. And yeah, that's what's up. Are you a chemist, Azir Dines? It could be some sort of drug or something. Interesting. I'm taking that to be like the British version of chemist. We call them pharmacists here, not chemists. Oh, Matthew Ice. Calls. King 8-5, all spades, we check. Hello, good luck. Thank you, Marion Cosmo. What's up on Facebook? Good to see you. Welcome. We've improved. We have improved. I think we want to check raise 7s with the spade here on the river. But not this one. Hello, Kevin RZ. Welcome. That's a cool emo on Facebook. I didn't know you could do that. Chemistry prof, there it is. Chemistry professor, well now I get it. So chemistry might be like a chemistry scientist as opposed to like a chemist, like a commercial chemist. I don't know, confusing. Languages are tough. Geography is tough because I don't know what it's referencing. I know the general area, but I don't know for sure. 3-5, we're going to call in the big blind. Go to a flop of ace-10-3. Probably a check call unless they choose a big sizing here. They don't. They bet small enough. So we call, hoping for a 3 or 5, right? 3 3s left in the deck. Or no, 3 5s left in the deck, 2 3s left in the deck. So 5 outs, about 10% on the turn to hit our hand. And then sometimes it goes check-check and we have 20% to hit our hand. Sometimes we have the best hand, and then sometimes we have an opportunity to bluff. So you add up all of those things, we get to continue on the flop, basically. We make trips on the river. We're going to bet 2/3. We get a quick call from probably a junkie ace or a 10 or something. Or like kings, queens, jacks makes sense. Ace, jack. Okay. Which is laughing at us, but they missed a bet on the turn. Ace, jack should value bet here on the turn. That's your bad, homie. We're going to call here. Jack 9, check. King 6 of hearts. Can play here pretty wide, especially given the history of this recent hand as well. We should probably call our suited kings. We're going to get paid pretty well when we flop big hands. And you definitely get to play a few more hands than typical here. Wow, we win against suited ace, I guess. Probably. Ace 8 offsuit. Okay. Wow, we flopped the royal flush draw against Matty Vance. Miss your ice. Take it down. Oh. Oh. Oh, man. No royal for us. Did the 320. We call it deuce 6 suited. Swinging a miss in the flop. I missed the old cash game night with you and Matt. That was fun, man. Games night was a great time on Saturday evenings. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's too bad we don't do that anymore. It was fun, man. What's up, Lars? How are you, man? Did you watch the main event of the WCP? I watched hands here and there, but I didn't watch like the full coverage or anything. Hands here and there, though. All the best from Wildhaus, Germany. Roast him. Okay. Roasting in progress, my friend. Wilderhaus. Wilderhaus. Folding. Okay, fours. Open, get 3-bet to 12-6. Call. Swing and a miss on the flop of the king 7-6. Bit of half pot as well. This is a bigger bet than I would expect there, I think. Lost 4 out of 5 runouts so far tonight. I hope it turns around for you, bro. It probably will. Why not? We're waiting on the 109 Sunday party. That's next for us. This will be a raise on the button. Covering the big blind, Eduardo Ace King, a senior. We play with them often. Looks like some of my tags disappeared because I play with these guys regularly. Azerdines are small nitrogen heterocycles in some drugs, as Jamie guessed. Let's go. Okay. Nailed it. It's kind of sad to fold ace-8 suited, man. It's not kind of sad. It's definitely sad, but gotta do it. Hanging in there. $3,300. All right. Beautiful Eduardo shoves. They cover us now, but obviously it's a call with queens against sevens to get up to 91,000 if we can hold it here. Good flop. Great turn. 2 outs. We take it down. 91K. Beautiful spot. Now, in our 2 biggest tourneys of the day, we have just shy of double stacks in both of them, which is really good. Let's raise here. Don't miss this potential bounty on 2 blinds. Other people will likely miss it because they're playing multiple tables, but how about we don't? It's a really great price. And I'm going to bet. How about a queen or a spade? Ayah. Ayah. Okay. It's a little on the wide side again, but our opponent still has 7 blinds. You know, we'd raise king 10 offsuit plus here, right? We've just widened it up a couple pips. And they jam. I think we're going to call here. And then if they rejam, have to fold, unfortunately. Let's see how it goes. Hi, Ro. What's up at Michaig on Facebook? Welcome. Collective brother Brandon Poulin from Canada. Good to see you. What's up? What's up? Thanks for the good luck, everyone. And we flop 2 pair, which is great. There it is. $75 bounty coming our way. Pick up the pot as well, which is really good. Beautiful. Okay. Good stuff, man. Yeah. Check, check, flop, bet, turn, they call, rivers and ace, it goes check, check. Yeah. That's too bad. Oh, it's lunchtime. Thank you, Rebecca, for lunch. She's the best. I could hear the steps. Appreciate you. Yeah. Much love. Thanks. I will. Chat, I'm going to leave you on, I don't know, I guess this 215 table. I could leave you on the 320 table, though. It is a knockout, and it's a higher buy-in. Let's play this jacks first, anyways. Took a break inside the car with AC while kids and wife are here at Splash Pad. Hot day in Winnipeg. Good luck, bro. I believe that, man. All the best. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it just seems like a beautiful summer day in a lot of the country. Check, check, actually. Raise under the gun. We go 3 ways on the flop. They c-bet. The flush completes. When it checks twice, I think we should bet river, but it's honestly thin. Yeah, I mean, it's a thin bet on the river. I would have expected them to bet that most of the time, but... Queens against ace king. Damn. Okay, I'm going to leave you on the 320 table. Back in a few minutes. I'm just going to have lunch. Stay with me. Hello, chat. We're back. PSR, thank you very much for the resub on Twitch. Appreciate you. 76 months from a legend. Get some love in the chat for PSR. Thank you, brother. We get check raise on the flop, the barrel turn. We're going to have to fold queens, I think, on our double stack there. Thanks for waiting while I had a bit of lunch. We're back in action now, though, for the rest of the day. Let's get it. Let's get it. They bet 1/4. We're going to continue with our pair of twos. And full to the double barrel. Okay. Sweet. How about 8-7 suited? We get a raise to 4,400. Very nice hand. Very playable. Could be a lot of fun. Let's see. Okay, so they have a 150 bounty. Okay. I don't know. It's wide. It's wide. But we need about 8% less equity than normal when called. I think suited connectors, like typically it's going to be like Jack 10, Queen 10 sort of hands are going to be the ones that you want to jam. Queen Jack. I think we're going to open that reshoving range up even wider when we have a bounty this big, which is a starting stack with two bounties. And we're not going to open it up to where we're shoving like, you know, King 10, because we're just going to get called by King Queen and King Jack. We're going to open it up to where we're shoving suited connectors, I think. So that is a shove based on it being a bounty tournament. In a normal tournament, honestly, you could 3-bet fold or you could just flat. Both are options. But shove would be too much. Defend with 10-7. Check. King 3 suited on the button for 10. I'm assuming this is too wide to jam, although it can't be far off. Can't be that far off. Still got the Grand Prix main event to register here too. Fighting back from 2 blinds in the Super 55. Hopefully. I mean, we're not back yet. We'll put it that way. But I have the 109 Sunday party ready to go if this is the end of our journey. Which it very much could be. Can't win every tournament as much as we try. Two's ace jack. Two's all in on 2 tables. There's no way we won here, right? Oh my god, we hold 4 ways with 2s. We bust here. But honestly, to hold 4 ways with 2s and survive is frankly incredible. So that's good. Let's get the 109 Sunday party going in here. Very much a feature tournament for us, so we'll put it on table 2. Let me just get it all set up. Table 2 buy-in is going up on a Tuesday. Excuse me. And we raise it up. All right. Gregos 619. It's such a dry board. We have a small range advantage. we have a small nut advantage. And we have a hand that doesn't deal with aggression that well. So there's an argument for checking back there with ace-5, but I'm going to go for the bets. Which probably, for me, knowing my leaks, like, my leak is going to be just being slightly too passive on flop textures. It's probably a good idea when in doubt to just lean towards the bets, especially in larger fields, smaller buy-in kind of spots. All in with King Queen in the Grand Prix main event. No dice. Out in 41st. GG. Pair and a flush draw and a gut shot to a straight. Pretty easy call here. And then see how we do. Shakespeare's mother, what's up, yo? Hope you're doing well. Good luck on the tables. Thanks, man. And back at you. Shakespeare's mother. Having a good reading stint at the moment, actually. Fold on the river to the big bet. Reading a collection of short stories by Franz Kafka. I've never read anything from Kafka, but you know, he is, as a lot of you guys will know, like a really famous artist or author. He wrote Metamorphosis, which is in this short story collection. So I'm excited to sort of try out a new author and see what I think of it. So far it's going really well. I just finished an essay collection from Zadie Smith, who is also a new author to me. And it was so sharp. She's so talented at literary criticism. Like, she's just, her ability to observe and sort of take apart what's going on in these different pieces is like really awe-inspiring. So I love the essay collection. There's one point where I read like 2 hours straight, which is really rare for me to read that long in a row and be able to stay focused. So really enjoyed that book. And next up is a book by Faulkner, another author I've never read, called The Sound and the Fury, because I have a Montreal book club. We're meeting at the end of August, so that'll be the next book up. So trifecta of bangers at the moment. When you mix in the math, the poker math books I have going at the same time, just really enjoying the pursuit of knowledge and art, I guess, so to speak. So it's been great, man. That's just an unprompted reading update because I know we've talked about books in the past, Shakespeare, some other. What are you reading at the moment, and how are you liking it? And extend it to anyone else in the chat if you guys are readers or you know, partakers in the fine arts. What app is this? This is Party Poker, Rob. We are playing on Party Poker, brother. Welcome. The more time I spend on the planet, the more time I find happiness and fulfillment in arts. To be straight with you, chat. We're going to go for a small bet here on Queen 3 Deuce. I think we want to bluff this hand. It's not going to win a showdown. It has backdoor hearts. It has some backdoor straight draws like this. Tough to find enough bluffs on the turn, so we're going to barrel. Queen 3 Deuce, pretty dry, right? Like, both of us are going to miss this board really often. And if there's one leak that I would say, let's say like small stakes poker players have the most, it would be betting the turn not a high enough percentage. Right? It's easy to find your value bets on the turn, but like it's hard to have enough bluffs on the turn often. So the exploit to that is one, people are going to overfold on the turn because they're used to seeing all day the range of bets that people actually have on the turn, which is too strong. So the reaction is, as a defense, when someone else is betting at you on the turn, give them a little bit more credit than theory would say. And vice versa, attack people by betting more on the turn than they're used to seeing. Should be about 50-50, about 50% bluffs on the turn-ish. So we're back to starting stack of these two tournaments, which kind of sucks, but we do have a bounty here for 75 bucks in the 320. Ace-8 in the small blind. Reshove here, reshove against a shove from the cutoff. Pretty painful against clown of today. 11 blinds, they fold, thankfully. Fold to this open. And there it is. This is the only opponent that could have taken away a profitable swap from us, but they have successfully, so. Wow, Joe Biden ends his re-election campaign. Who will be the leader of the Democratic Party? Kamala Harris will be the party's presidential nominee. They cover us. I like flatting here. Beautiful flop. Beautiful flop in the 320. They do have us covered. But we're definitely willing to gamble in this spot. I like check raising too because we should be able to put pressure on ace-x, right? If they have ace-9 through ace-deuce suited that isn't spades, they're probably just going to fold. And they do fold to the flop check raise. We're going to go all in with the 10s here against McManaman. Take it down. Beautiful. I love reading Kafka as a young man. Yeah. Awesome. I'm excited about it. They're all in. We reshove with the pair of sevens. I think pretty obviously, right? It's 2/3 of a start stack. We need about 6.5% less equity than normal because of the starting bounty and the short stack. And sevens have enough equity in normal. You know, take the bounty away and they can still go all in. So it's a good spot. Pick up our second bounty in the tournament. That's 150 now total. Which means we've got about half our money back on this re-entry. So it's our second bullet. However, people have a double reward for trying to knock us out, which could come into play. Let's see. In the intro to the Penguin Kafka short story collection that I've got, it talks about how he's an author that somehow 6 or 7 things, it's almost like slow motion time. Like it's describing 6 or 7 things happening at the same moment as being really unique to him. And I could already sort of see that. And it's fantastical and like really, you know, I'm only 40 pages into some short stories. Some of them are 1 page long. You can see some of his imagination already being, yeah, otherworldly, like just, the ability to turn a sort of mundane observation into something fantastic is pretty cool, I think, so far. Any plans on coming back to the UK to play? Yes. Yeah, I'd like to go back to visit the UK for a few things. You know, one, I'm going to be an uncle at some point. Rebecca's sister is having a baby. I think that is public knowledge now. So I'm looking forward to meeting the baby, which is amazing. And also, I miss the UK, man. I really like it. Like, Montreal is home. I'm happy in Montreal, but it'd be great to have a double whammy of spending some time there and meeting the baby. So, you know, the future's still uncertain in terms of, you know, what are Party Poker's plans. What are their plans with me? What are the plans in general with the site when I go? But I suspect I'll probably go for a week at some point. And then maybe for a longer period as well in the new year, like could do a month or two. I'll have to figure out, I'll have to buy like a gaming laptop and figure out a mobile setup so that I can obviously stream. But all of that to be determined, I think. To be determined. We'll have to see. But I sure would like to. As long as my health is in a good enough place. Then, I'd love to do it with Rebecca. So, just started The Truth Detective, Alex Bryant. There it is. Read it in March. Yeah, good book. I enjoyed it. Truth Detective to me felt like a conversation with a good friend where you sort of have a wide-ranging discussion about what it is that we're actually doing on the poker table from a macro sense, right? Of like, what are the scientific and the social science things that are going on in a hand of poker? What are some of the skills that we use and how do they apply outside of the game? So, yeah, I enjoyed it. Zadie Smith is great. I've read her debut, White Teeth. Kafka is a long time ago for me. Only read The Trial, which I loved. Reading mostly poetry at the moment. Amazing. Dude, that's a world I haven't really gotten into yet. I have some poetry upstairs, but I haven't really stepped into poetry. But I look forward to it. I think if I have an error, and this is true in poker, this is also true in my life, this is true in pretty much every sense of my being. If I have a weakness of attention, it's going to be to detail-oriented stuff. I think since I was very young, I was always very macro-focused, right? The targets and the goals were always very large. And so the focus has been macro. Big picture, makes sense why, like career architecture, right? And like broad game plans in poker and broad theory to improve the underlying engine of decision making has been much more important than the granular details to me of like, all right, on this board texture, what is our strategy going to look like? And on this board texture, what's our strategy going to look like, right? That part has not been a strong suit of mine. And I find that to be true when I'm reading as well, which is like sometimes I have to remind myself to slow down and chew on the sentence-to-sentence structure of what's happening, as opposed to focusing on the overarching philosophy of what's being put through to me. Poetry, I think for that reason, will be a big challenge, in that it's so granular. Every word is so important. Every pause is so important. Do I want to play this fast or call here? I think call. I really don't know how much wants to play fast at all in this spot, to be honest. Like, what do I want to do with aces, kings, queens here when we get check raised on jack 8-5? Do we just want to get it in there for like 90K? Seems a little light. Probably we would call, right? They check on the 8 turn. I'm going to check back. Would not bet here with queens, kings, aces when it check raises and checks the turn. Would not bet with a jack. We just have a very small betting range, I think. On the river, we have a straight, which is great. If they bet big, we call. If they bet small, we have to decide. And if they check, I think we should value bet. They bet big, so we call. We can have some full houses sometimes, but like obviously, we're not folding a straight. They have the flopped 2-pair, turned full house. C'est la vie. We go on. yeah, so anyways, I look forward to checking out more poetry. And something that I've been working on in therapy over the last, 6 or 7 years of my life, and this has been a change, but then also just as an adult that's growing older, as a person, I'm 33 now. One of the things that I try and employ a lot more often than I did in my mid-20s, one of my main 20s regrets is not taking enough time to be present in the moment, being too focused on overarching sort of challenges, and being sort of productive or useful or valuable in some way. Very much focusing more on the present, on the here, on the now, on the senses, in my body of not just the intellectual thoughts, although those are fun, but also the experiential versions of what I can see, what I can smell, what I can taste, what I can hear. And then the emotions that come along with all of that, and sort of enjoying them, So that's different. And, it translates to my poker game too, for sure. Where it just feels as if through some of these personal changes, there's more time for me to go through a granular sort of spot and pay attention. Not necessarily because I think it's the right move for my career or it's going to make me more money, but because it's interesting, and like, why not? So one of the things I'm doing, and I don't know if I've talked about this, this is Mathematics of Poker by Bill Chen and Jared Ankeman. This was one of our Poker Book Club books. I think it was the second month. Super challenging, very difficult, right? I think most of the people left the book club when we tried this book because it was just like super hard. And a month was too fast to get through it. But I've been working with a few guys that are poker pros, semi-poker pro, like their only income, what they do, went to University of Waterloo. And so we have a book club every week where we get together, we get on voice call, and we go through a chapter and we talk through it, and they help me with the notation and the mathematics. And then I guess I provide some expertise in terms of experience over long periods of time. And like, that's a granular project in that I don't think necessarily, being able to discover like optimal sizing against a range on the turn without utilizing any software is necessarily going to make me any money, right? Like if your focus is on making as much money as you can per hour, well, then it's just like start memorizing a lot of the data that our poker tools are giving you. But I'm more so interested in it, like, again, as like an exercise intellectually, and then also philosophically, like poker is what I do and what a lot of you guys do as well that are watching. So to try and understand the intricate details for the sake of understanding them makes sense to me. So I don't know. All that to say, I haven't read much poetry, man. Moving on. Bodie Lummock says, Kamala Harris is the only one that makes sense. Anyone else, they'd be starting from ground zero for money. At least Kamala can utilize Biden's coffer as her name on the account. Yeah, so that was my understanding too. Just hearing some of the discourse in general, like not being able to transfer finance funds from one to the other seems like it makes sense. Can she get it done? It's probably smart money to bet on her, I would say, because of how much of a done deal people think it is, but I wouldn't say she's likely to win. Yeah, interesting. There's a lot more to chat about as well. I'm behind on messages, but let me just grab a drink and I'll be back in a few minutes, okay? So, Pokerstaples on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. We have the 250 Big Sunday chipped up a little bit, staying alive in these two. We have a nice stack of the 55 Grand Prix Super, just under the 109 Sunday party. Having a great time. Appreciate you all. Back in a few minutes. Stay with me. Looks like we're going to have a chance at 2 bounties here with Ace Queen. I bet we have the best hand. It's not for sure, but it's pretty likely. Yep. Side pot. Okay. We win 1 bounty for 50 bucks, and we do win chips as well. We're up to 200 earned so far in the tournament. Obviously call here, blind versus blind with a bounty in play. They've got the goods. We are on the bubble, and we are 2 off the money. See if we can't sneak our way in there. Like I grew up in Alberta, very spaced out, very car-centric, very not... Alberta is all about your house and your yard, right? Like that's like what you're solving for. Locations in larger cities. That's not how I feel. And then the Japanese one I'm reading right now is this one, which is Scattered All Over the Earth. Contemporary science fiction Japanese book, Yoko Tawada. Kind of bizarre. Right. That's not the way it works with Euros. King, queen. Yes, hold. Let's go. But now 7 to 10, we've got a pretty decent shot in this thing. It's 1,500 for the win. And we raise 9s. It's a good turn. Very good turn. I hear you. It hasn't been great so far. There's been a lot of draws. Maybe it's all going to come together at the right time. Let's see. Do we call here 175 bounty? Yeah, we do. This is a big bounty. And they shove for 11 blinds. We got to get this bounty money, dude. It's too valuable. We're in the money. They shove for 11.5 blinds, which means, yeah, they're going to have kings, but they're also going to have like 7s, 6s, and stuff. We lose. And we are now the shorty on the FT bubble, but that's okay. Call. Right? Shortest stack? Yeah. Call 7-8. Gutter. It's a very small bet, though. I think we should peel. Think about 5 to 1. Do we bluff on the river? We probably should. I don't think we want to go too big, though. We're not going to try and get like a queen or a 10 to fold here, right? And we want to be able to represent a pair, so we just bet half pot. We're down to the final table. What happened here? Queen deuce against 7s. Making 2 pair on the turn. Fair enough. Final table height of the Super 215. Coming in. 7 to 9. But there's no reason we can't win here. There's no reason. It's a bounty tournament as well, so got to keep your eyes out for those bounties. 300 cashed, 200 bounties. Call it 500. Let's go. Here we go. Would love a shove from this 80k stack. That would be awesome. Think shove, especially in a bounty. I would probably not shove like ace 10 suited here, but I think with ace queen it's clear. Against 10s. Got a flip, queen on the flop. Keep it clean, Dottie, please. Let's go. Let's go. We rejam here with the bounty in play, I think. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Let's continue on our journey to winning poker tournaments. We've got 5 tables on the go. Gonna add more as we need, but I'm chilling on 5 right now. Let's make it count. Okay. Catching up on chat as well. I'm about 10 minutes behind on all the platforms, so I'll catch up. We have Billy Edwards first on Facebook that says, are there any books you would recommend for poker? Maybe something for someone just starting out. I'm reading Secrets of Tournament Professional Poker by Jonathan Little. I wouldn't say it's for brand new beginners. I'd say it's for beginners that are looking to become intermediate or advanced. But it's very good. I think it's a great introduction, honestly. As a beginner, I think honestly using digital resources is a really good idea. Starting by watching videos on YouTube, watching streams on Twitch, learning some of the language that poker players use and the lingo, right? Learning some of the things that you need to learn about that you don't know about yet, and then diving into books after that is probably a good way. But you could also go down to your local bookstore and see what poker stuff they have, right? Yeah, that would be my take, Billy Edwards. And cheers, man. Thanks for watching. Bass, thanks for the thumbs up. Thank you for the good luck, Johnny Woo. All right, back to Bodie Lummox on Twitch. Another offer I enjoyed at that same time was Elias Cantelli's Auto de Fe Canadis. All right, cool. I'm going to look that up. If not... flat, I think. I'm unfamiliar with this author, so. German language writer, born in Bulgaria. Nice. Looks up my alley. Nobel Prize for Literature. Well, let's just put Auto de Fe on the want to read section. Be good. And in the meantime, let's go for that. Could you recommend any sites to find UK poker tournaments? PartyPoker, man. You can play it on PartyPoker in the UK. I think you really enjoyed it. Good promotions. Games are safe, fair. Game integrity is important to us. We have good field strength, right? Like you're not up against pure sharks. So, yeah, I think you'll like it, man. Did start with your poker book club. I enjoyed Brunson's biography. I hope to see it as a film one day. Scorsese should get on it. It's pretty surprising that it hasn't come to fruition, I would say. Yeah. Raise 143, bet 270. Fold, I guess. I don't know. Like, against this opponent, what's my strategy going to be with ace 10? It's kind of tough. I don't really like jamming. I'm probably going to flat. And when this player goes all in, it opens the door for them. It's an uncomfortable spot. We just folds. And I'm unsure whether I like that. KBT30 says, what are your thoughts on the WCP winner using charts? Don't know if you already discussed it. We haven't talked about it yet, actually. So there's been some controversy recently in terms of the winner of the WCP main event. In between hands, you know, his rail had a laptop and he would get his advice in between hands as to, you know, like various strategies and what was happening on the broadcast in the past. So I think there's two kind of, well, there's a couple discussions going on. There's probably three discussions that come to mind. Do I think this should be the way that this should work? No, I don't think so, right? Like, I don't think that having sort of like coach's corner where everyone has sort of a team of people accessing information in between hands to relay to the player is a good setup, right? It doesn't look good, right? Which, you know, it is not the primary concern of the players or necessarily the WSOP, right? Like they're not, their responsibility is game integrity. But like, if you're thinking about poker as like, or this tournament as a marketing vehicle, it looks bad to the average poker player, right? It looks like, oh, I could never get that. I don't, you know. So I think it's not a good setup. If I was the WSOP, what I would want to do is have the replay showing somewhere to where people could see it in the crowd. Allow the audience to obviously watch that and to relay the hands that happened in the past, because that's very relevant and important information. And then the use of sort of like charts or advanced information shouldn't be allowed. Difficult to police in that, you know, phone calls, text messages exist. You could relay ideas to people, of course, but yeah, I don't think you want this environment. It just doesn't work well as a tournament. If you want it, then I would incorporate it as a bigger part of the thing, you know, of like, okay, we're going to have these commercial breaks, and on commercial breaks, everyone has their sort of coach's corner, and they can go and consult their people and have discussions about what's happening. But to me, that's just like a worse setup, I think. Do away with all technical sort of crutches, but allow people to obviously watch the replay and relay what happened on the replay to the players that are playing. The second conversation is it cheating? No. It's within the rules of the tournament. This has been sort of a practice, less blatantly, but a practice at the main event for as long as I can remember, where people are getting coaching the night before, right? And they're coming in with extensive pre-flop strategies, and then their friends are sort of grouped in on what's happening, and they, are receiving valuable information in between hands from their friends that might be able to help them. This has been happening for a long time. I think just because it was blatant with like a laptop open on the side of the stream that there's been this discussion. But based on my interpretation of the rules, this is not against the rules this time. But I think it should be, right? So it's a separate conversation between those two things. I forget the third conversation. Yeah, I guess I would once again say that I disagree with Dominic Nietzsche and other people's assessment that using charts is standardized. I don't think that's the case. Using preflop charts, even if they're static, is cheating. It is a problem. Cash game players, once again, do not understand the extent of the problem, as we seem to be frozen on some of these tables here, because they don't understand the value that one can pick up. There's probably 40, 50,000 charts in a database like a Preflop Academy or something like that, right? That are all going to be somewhat unique based on, okay, like, are we 20 blinds deep? Are we 30 blinds deep? Are we 40 blinds deep? Are we 60 blinds deep? Are we 100 blinds deep? Are we 25? Are we 20? Are we 17? Are we 15? The strategy in the cutoff is going to look different on all of those charts. Cash game players, I don't think, appreciate the intricacy there that's available. That's also true with all of the 3-bet charts, all of the defending against 3-bet charts. They're all going to fluctuate little bits based on stack depth and little bits based on ICM, bigger than little bits on ICM. Asymmetric stack sizes. ICM with percentage of the field that's remaining. It's like, okay, we're going to drop 1 pip, with like half the field remaining, 1 pip off all of our preflop range. Like, this is very valuable information. And, there's this kind of move by certain communities in poker to be like, oh, you've got to expect that, or a ton of people are doing this or whatever. To me, it's just not the case, right? Preflop charts are cheating. If they're disallowed by the terms of service on whatever poker site it is that you're playing, it doesn't matter if you think your opponents are all doing it. It is cheating. It is against the rules. It shouldn't be allowed. Poker sites, if they see it, should take action. And we shouldn't, as a community, move to make this a standardized part of poker, because the disadvantage for the average player that does not have access to the volume of information needed to play, GTO preflop without any exploits. If you could just play GTO preflop, almost all the edge is gone. All that's left is post-flop edge, but you've plugged the biggest leaks that the average people have already, right? Like, it's a huge deal. So if you're saying that you need to subscribe to a service to have access to the information to play optimally pre-flop to then even get to playing poker, like, just start on the flop, Like, it's not what we want. From years and years and years of experience, people have honed these skills to be able to get their ranges to within, a pip in most spots. Just because some people break the rules doesn't mean that's the way that poker works. So, to me, I wish that the people that are sort of apologists for this practice would just be more educated on what it is they're talking about, because they're mostly talking from a cash game background that, doesn't have the appropriate relevant information. And so, and honestly, you should also not listen to what like Twitter says or 2+2 says or Reddit Poker says. You should listen to the game integrity departments at the poker sites, which are the ones that are setting the rules and are the ones that are enforcing the rules. And what they say is the law when it comes to playing on various sites, not what, you know, other people perceive the community norms to be. So listen, dude, if pre-flop charts became a thing you were allowed to use, I would crush, you know, and you guys would lose more against me because I have extensive knowledge at how to get them, you know, and I would play a perfect pre-flop game, GTO, and then you make your exploits from there. And those of you that didn't have access to that would lose more, right? Like, that's not the future we want in poker. It's a bad idea. So, yeah. Hopefully some of that resonated with some people. Sable, let's go. Shane. Good luck on the grind, man. Thank you, Blockbet. Yeah, so someone says, I agree there should not be coaching at a big event like that. Poker's an individual sport, not a team sport, says John. I think it should work like tennis. Someone said like tennis, where there's like a no coaching rule in tennis matches where the coaches can sit and watch and obviously like good job, you know, offer encouragement, whatever. But like they aren't, you know, giving the specifics. When you're watching professional golf, it's not like, you know, the professional golfers' coaches are out there giving them sort of advice on what they're doing wrong at the moment. I think you should operate the same way for poker, which is like, hey, have your support group around you, right? Don't disallow them to say like, oh yeah, that hand that you folded, he had king 10, he bluffed, or like, or good job, you're doing a great job. But accessing like databases of information, I think, is a dumb way of doing it. What's up, Andrew? How you doing, man? Welcome on Facebook. Okay, catching up. What's up, Omar? Welcome on YouTube, man. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. All three. Good luck on the grind. Thank you, Blockbet. 1337. I have to fold to this jam, which is sad, with the suited king. Kind of a short stack. So is it just me or is Twitch down for everyone? I don't think so. Let me see. Seems fine to me. Shouldn't be allowed tech, even phones, just shows they're skillless unless they have help. I don't think that's true. I think they're very skilled. To be honest, all three of them are great players. And I don't think the charts would have honestly made much of a difference, right? Like, it's intricate information, right? It would, the equivalent in like a golf perspective would be, you know, having access to like slow-mo camera footage and getting your face angle at impact or something like that, right? Where it's like, okay, you know, on your last drive, your face came into the ball at 3 degree open, you know, which is why you missed that fade a little right. So if you could just like drop your swing path a little bit on the way down, or like pick it up a little bit on the way down, you're gonna correct that 3 degrees, right? Like, it's not, there's still a huge amount of skill of actually being able to execute that in the moment. And again, all of the information is after the fact, right? It's after the fact of developing a game plan for future action that you don't know yet. So it's not cheating, and they're still highly skilled. It's just, I just think it's a poor setup for a tournament. It's just like not very good. Kind of just sucks. It's like, it makes it to where it's a bit of an arms race, and that's not really the environment you want to create. Which poker platforms work together to join players in the same tournaments? bwin and PartyPoker are together. I think there's a few other. Let's see. See if I can find I'm a Party Poker guy, but then there is other clients that are like on the Party Poker network, but they're I think generally smaller than Party Poker. I don't know the specifics, so I shouldn't misspeak, but I think yeah, so they have Coral, Ladbrokes, BetMGM, BWin. I'm not sure how many of these provide poker or not, though. 150 in bounties, but we're out. How did I bust here? I was looking up this answer, so I missed it. Ace 3 into 5, blind versus blind. Okay. Fair enough, man. $150. But the end of the road in the 320. I remember, like, I don't know if it's still true, but there used to be, like, Gala Bingo, for example, had, like, a client as well. And there's some people that would play from Gala Bingo. I don't think that's true anymore, but I see, like, Foxy Bingo, for example. So, like, I don't know, dude. Party Poker. Try to order the book you're reading from Jonathan Little, but it's not available in Europe. What to do? Ooh, I don't know. Secrets of Professional Tournament Poker, something like that. Well, this is the first Jonathan Little book I've read. He has a bunch of books, and I think it's really thorough. I'd really recommend it. So maybe try one of his other books. The writing is really good and it's really thorough. So I think it's a nice guide. For again, like beginner turning to intermediate. Raised to 14-4 and a flat. How do we want to play this ace-5? Shove is obviously an option, but we're going to get called a lot, especially with the bounty in our head. Having the pro diamond, which you can't see on yourself, but other people can see me have the pro diamond at the table. Like, it's not going to work well. So I think we just want to call and hopefully flop kind of well, which we don't. They bet 25,000. We fold. Moving on. Okay, man. All right. Fine. You are on the same table in the big 215. Alexandru, what's up? Are you talking about me and Matty Ice? Or me and you? We're all in, by the way. 8.5 blinds here. Suited ace, good enough. But our stacks are kind of floundering, unfortunately. There's no golf equivalent because there's no coach able to physically do what Tiger Woods or XYZ golfer can do. There's no physical component of poker. It's apples and oranges. No, I don't think that's true, right? Like, it's... information is the same in the two games, right? So, of course, there's execution of the information, but there's also execution of the information in poker, too. It's just taking what comes in your brain and executing that into an action is an execution, right? Because we all have a bunch of information that's available in our brain. So to compute that down to a decision is an execution, right? Whereas there's some sort of muscular execution in golf, for example, or tennis. But really, at the highest level, it's mostly coming down to an intellectual execution or an ability to stay present. Because like the physical has already been worked to the nth degree. So no, I think it's the same, right?
it's access to a piece of information that it might be useful, by like a very tiny percent for the future. But it has no impact on what's on the past, right? It's just like, it's maximum preparation through technology, essentially. Yeah. And the apt comparison, like, I don't mean to be big upping my comparison, but the apt comparison to why people are complaining about this is that if this remains legal, well, then you're suggesting that all 9 on the final table need to set up their slow motion cameras behind the golf swing so that they can gather the information to then relay to their player to hopefully pick up a 0.5% edge on the information, right? And like one group decided to do it to push their edge to the maximum and gain their extra, 50 grand in equity by essentially like deploying the strategy. And it's within the rules, but like, do we want this game to be that? Or would we prefer, instead of everyone setting up slow motion cameras, we just say no slow motion cameras because this is better for, frankly, in the end, better for the players. It's better for the operator. It's better for the viewer. Like, everyone wins if you get rid of this thing. Yeah. It is really interesting, the idea of execution in poker, right? Because if any of you have tried to play sports at a high level or have succeeded at playing sports at a high level, sports psychology and execution is generally, it's very stoic, right? It's pragmatic to the extreme, and it's like, what do you have an ability to influence? If you have an ability to influence something positively, then you work towards that to the best of your ability, right? Maximally. If you don't have a way to influence something, you discard that as irrelevant to you and your performance in the sport that you're trying to succeed at or game. And so it's all about maximizing your performance in the moment and getting emotions out of the way, building systems to eliminate emotions from interfering with your decision making. So when it comes to a sport like, let's say, basketball, right? Like, how much of basketball is about executing the muscles correctly to drop the 3 at the important moment? How much of that is muscular as opposed to emotional, right? Or performance based from a psychology point of view? I would argue that it all starts in the brain. The muscles' movement and their ability to be free enough to do the thing that you practice doing starts in the brain. And in poker, it's the same thing. We're not doing a movement that is going to affect us, like taking our chips and dropping them into the middle. But it is put in motion with the same fluidity by the brain in the same way that it is in sports. So I don't actually think there's that much difference. I think execution in poker and execution in sport is pretty similar. And bad bounces and bad luck is kind of similar too. And the greats are the ones that can be really specific, but then also can allow their expertise that they've honed over time to shine through in the face of crushing moments of intensity, right? So, yeah, man, I don't know. Pretty similar. Again, I agree. You're supposed to be playing the people on the table, not the people on the rails, says John Holtzler. Yeah, cheers, man. Yeah. There is, by the way, for what it's worth, I think there's an opportunity to set up like essentially like team versus team sort of environment in tournament poker, and it'd be interesting. I just don't think we want to do it in the main event, you know? Call. 2 pair. Nice. Let's go. PSR says, I love Jonathan Little's content. After you, he's the next best reason of where my game is at. Yeah. I think it's really quality too, man. I'm really enjoying this book, and I'll be more thorough when I finish it. Alex saying, I agree with most of your takes about the main RTA laptop. Good comps. Cheers. Seems like everyone agrees with me today, which is a nice feeling. Thanks. What do we want to do with King 9 suited here? We're on the bubble. The soft bubble, of course. We're 25 spots away from being in the money in this large field tournament. We're going to start with a call here. Call in the small blind, call in the big blind, king, queen, 6. Bit of a trouble flop, right? We have top pair, great, but we have short stacks with like a mid kicker top pair, 4 ways. I think check. We're not protecting from many cards either, right? Ace is pretty bad. There's a lot of straight cards when you're talking about 4 hands that are involved, but it's really tough to get value, and if we bet and get jammed on, what do we bet? Fold the flop? I guess we could. It's uncomfy. What's up, Muggy? How are you, brother? Good to see you, man. Ooh. I think we've lost here, right? Should I bluff? I'd be bluffing king, queen. Probably not, right? We're not bluffing enough stuff to make this bluff make sense. That's never folding. We can bluff better kings, of which there's not many. That's why I enjoyed Lena 900's performance. He's succeeded in maximizing his thought processes and removing emotional element. Absolute beast. Yeah, one of the best ever. Lena. One of the best ever, ever, ever. Griff and Tamayo all in with the flip for the title. I wonder if the 7-7 versus King 10, if the controversy would be as largely talked about. I don't think so. But I also think like the way that Dominic Nietzsche is talking about it on Twitter inflames people in a way to where they are, antagonistic. Joe McKeon is also fairly antagonistic as well with people in the way that he generally acts, who I think is the backer of the main event winner, or at least had big pieces or something. So yeah, the main event champion seems like a really, stand-up dude. I think he's a deserving winner. The rest of his crew seem a little difficult, are definitely a little difficult sometimes, and yeah. Agree. Have a team of like 2 or 3 rotate in and out of hands. That would be cool. Yeah, team championship would be fun. What would be really fun is team decisions, which is rare. Right? Like having an individual, how it works with tag teams right now is fine. One person plays, the other person plays. What would be cool is if 2 people talk about making a decision and come to a decision together. That would be kind of interesting as a format, Just at least like different than stuff we've seen. But it would have to be in a live environment. And then also there has to be a space for people to talk. And it'd be so slow as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it would work, but... Bubble here, 215 Big Sunday. We're surviving. We're 10 off the money, but our stack is trash. Super 215, better than trash. Could knock out Mr. Bands right now. Let's see. Sheesh. See you later, Matty Bands. Matty Ice. To the rail, Matty Ice. He got us. He got us. Ugh. It's so sick how lucky the man is. Matt, it's so sick. Enjoy my chips, bud. I'm coming for them. They're his for now. It's just on loan. Just on loan, Matty. What's up, Matthew Lawrence Pointer? Good to see you in the house, man. Hopefully we are printers today. Yeah, I hope so. We just have 150 in bounties right now, and that's it. And not some amazing stacks, so... hopefully we can turn it in the right direction. Nice, okay. I'm just going to see what our Grand Prix schedule looks like this week. PLO PKO Championship. Oh, man. The PLO PKO Championship is going on. Day 2 is going to be tomorrow. Got to make it through in the main event as well. All right, so our Grand Prix is going until the 29th. And then, something exciting. That's all I can say. Tough Sunday here. What about you? Yeah, it's been a chill Sunday. Like, I haven't fired massive or anything, but we don't have much to show for our results so far. But Thank you, Hizgar, Bayra, and welcome. So that's good. 209,000. Okay, 640. Call for the min raise. And this is an obvious check raise. But it's a check raise, get it in, I guess, with the open ender. The thing about this spot that's really tough for opponents is on the queen high boards, we both miss often. So it's really tough against a check raise to defend well. It's a very difficult skill. But when they do, they're too strong, right? What I just said is it's hard for them to call enough when I check raise. When they call, if that assumption I made on the flop is true, what does that mean about their turn range? It's too strong. So therefore, we're not going to continue bluffing, right? It's just a check raise. We're going to call the min bet because we're getting, 20-1 with a with an open ender, but yeah. Check, and we got to see a river for one bet. It was pretty good. Matthew Bands. I know, Bikar, right? What is going on with Matthew Bands there? We double it up with 10 high here in a very short stack. And here's an all-in moment against Mr. Bands. Try again, brother. Try again. Oh. This time he's got us pipped. He kind of owes us one, though. Low-key, little 6-ball. GG, Mr. Bands. GG. Not going to re-enter. We have 1 minute left there. Although, it may overlay, though. Let's wait a second. It's pretty close to overlaying. I have a minute and a half to decide. How's your French going? I've been picking up some language study again as well. Oh, nice, man. It's slow going. I'm not putting a lot of time in every day. I'm putting time in every day, a few minutes, but not a ton of time. So I don't feel like I'm making big gains. But I'm treading water and continue to gain experience every day as well, of course. But yeah, it's on my mind a lot. I had to use French a lot this weekend because I went to a music festival. Classical music festival in a town called Juliette, which is about an hour northeast of Montreal. And there was very little English. In Montreal, you hear a decent amount of English. You can definitely get by with English almost anywhere. Outside of Montreal, not the case. So every drive-through we went to get food, gas station interaction, every sort of small talk attempt that people had to make started in French every time. I only heard English maybe 2 times the whole weekend, and I was at a festival. So it was very super French. And, I struggled through. Did okay. enough to get the food I wanted and the drinks I wanted, and a few things here and there. But no, it's not. I'm not very good yet. But why don't you use blinds instead of chips? I think chips are more interesting for people to watch. Basically, that's why. My Sunday started bad, says Teton Warrior. Same player riveted me out of the tournament, came back to win my first PKO. You've won your first knockout in the tournament, or you won the whole tournament, Teton Warrior? Either way, nice. Care to do an explanation on the importance of positions? Positions very important. Like it's hugely important to how profitable and successful you can be in poker hands. Ace queen against ace jack. No diamond. Ugh. Oh, and I missed late reg on the Super 215 as well because I was yapping. Oh, man. Whammies of pain. We're in the money here. Rightful hype. So like when you're in position, a very simple example is that let's say you're on the river and you're in position and you have the nuts. You get to decide to bet. When you're out of position, you often don't get to decide. They get to decide. So that's a whole bet difference. And the bet can be large as well. It can be big in size. It's the same on the flop, right? You call out of the big blind and you go to a flop and the flop comes down. You might have the nuts or a crappy hand. You don't get to decide whether you want to see a turn card or whether you want to start putting money in. The person in position does. So it's a very valuable option to have. And position is going to affect how often we play hands, like universally. At every stake of poker, at every blind level of poker, in every game of poker, position is important. So you've always got to be thinking about position. We're all in the money. That's aces, dude. GG. We're going to call it a day there, chat. We've got the 109 Sunday party, but it's early days. Day 2 is at 16 players left. So yeah, you're going to see me more this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Grand Prix rolls on Party Poker. Hope you all had a great Sunday. Thanks for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later.